So Niels, Bodie,
Yes.
NX, Freak, you're in one squad. You're Alpha. Bodie, you're the team leader. Niels, you're the AR gunner. Freak, you're the grenadier. Go kit out. You've got 20 seconds and meet me in front of the hangar.
Who's the FTL?
Bodie.
Bodie
Roger.
is fight team leader. Bodie, we need you. Stand somewhere.
Okay, Alpha. We're gonna move northeast. We're gonna move east across that line. Move whenever you're ready. Moving east.
Alpha.
Alpha!
Alpha.
File. Northeast.
File northeast.
Alpha northeast.
Walking. Move.
Walking move.
Default is always walking. If you say move, it's implied that you're walking.
Rod.
Bring him into a staggered column, Bodie.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Staggered column.
There, column.
Move.
Move.
Can you bring it wide order? Get him about 10 or 20 meter space.
Hey Jimbo, can you turn your volume up?
Can you bring him into a wide order? Get about 10 or 20 meter spacing. That's you. You've got to do that, Bodie. I'm just talking to you.
Spread out. 10 meters space.
Spread out. 10 meters.
Spread out.
We'll call this wide order. Okay, right now you're moving in staggered column. You notice that the team leader's on point, and his buddy, the AR, is beside and behind him. Following the AR is buddy 2, with the grenadier behind the team leader, and the rifleman right behind the AR. This is the simplest form of traveling Overwatch. We're traveling because we're moving, but we've got a wide spacing. If we were doing this at a squad level, then the squad fire teams would be in a wedge formation, with one fire team following the other at about a 40 to 50 meter interval. Any questions about this? This is traveling.
Why doesn't no one ever do this on the front side?
I don't know. There's no reason why they can't. So the squad leader, if he's traveling with your fire team, he'll likely travel right in the middle of your formation. Nice safe place for him to be. Bodie, you're bent over for some reason. Are you using track IR?
Yeah. Let me.
What's your fire team, buddy, and get them online facing east.
Alpha.
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 Line east.
Line east.
Line east.
Move.
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 Heavy right. Buddy 2 on my right.
32 on the right side.
Oh, we're discussing. You don't need the AR with heavy right.
Okay, Bodie, just shift over to the north a little bit here and get him prone, facing east up that mountain. And hold. That's your command, Bodie. That's not mine.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Shift left.
Shift to north.
Get him online, Bodie. Close order. Line. Hold.
Alpha line east.
This good.
Tell him to hold.
Alpha hold.
Alpha hold.
Alpha hold.
Okay, that was good, Bodie. A little bit quicker next time getting them to do it. A little bit of urgency. So sprinting to cover and bounding. Sprinting and bounding. Movement without cover is dangerous. Crossing open areas is often best done at a sprint. So we're going to practice two methods. We're going to practice sprinting and bounding. What's the difference?
But rebounding you stop halfway, with sprinting you just run.
Kind of. Anybody else got an idea of the difference between sprinting and bounding?
Sprinting is
Bounding.
running over is a...
Bounding, would that be when you expect contact but you're not under it?
You might, yep.
And sprinting is if you're in contact or expect it likely.
Bounding is moving towards the cover.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
In
Bounding.
bound, always one team, there's always cover, because half of the team is moving.
You nailed it. Bounding is when you got a cover team. That's going to be the difference. Now imprint that in your brain and it'll make everything else simpler. And the pro word for sprinting is move. And if you want it urgently, move, move, move. So, an example would be Alpha, sprint northeast to the trees. Move, move, move. So that, now don't do it, Annex.
Yes.
That's just the order.
Example.
That's the example. So it's best to say the direction before you say the destination. So you notice I didn't say Alpha, sprint to the trees, northeast. I said Alpha, sprint northeast. It's almost like it's a flow. So they automatically are looking in the direction that you're talking about, then you tell them where they're going to. You don't even have to tell them where they're going to, as long as you tell the direction. So we're gonna practice this. I'm gonna be the voice of your fire team leader. So Bodie, just pretend I'm yelling this out, and I'm gonna do it a little bit, okay? Alpha,
Alpha.
sprint northwest to trees. Move, move, move.
Sprint northwest.
Sprint
To
northwest.
trees.
Northwest, to the trees.
You said northwest.
Wrong.
I think you meant northeast.
Sprint northeast to trees. Move, move, move.
Sprint northeast to trees. Move, move, move. Sprint northeast to trees. Move, move, move.
And Alpha, when you get to the trees, form a line and go prone.
Alpha form line, go
Form
prone.
line, go prone.
At trees.
For mine. Go prone.
Okay, Alpha face west.
Alpha face west.
Alpha face west.
Face west.
Alpha.
Am I invisible?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's because I don't have it out.
No, you're
I
not.
don't need a weapon for this.
Jimbo's visible.
I went the right way, but I wasn't listening.
Yeah, that way.
Okay, we're gonna try that again. Alpha,
I'm hearing someone move around me, but he's invisible.
we'll sprint west to the bushes.
We'll sprint
West
west.
to bush.
West to the bushes.
Bushes.
Move, move, move.
Move, move.
So whoever's in God mode, you're gonna have to teleport yourself around. It's been identified as a pet peeve when people can hear you're walking, but they can't see you.
Sure thing.
Alpha,
Alpha.
Alpha.
we'll sprint just left of west to the next bushes on the hill.
We'll sprint just left from
Sprint.
west.
Next layer bushes.
Left of west. Next bushes.
Move, move, move. Okay, Bodie, when you get there, I want you to try it. Sprint across the runway to the control tower.
Oh, we go into the next ones?
Good. Alpha, move up to the crest of the hill. Move, move, move.
Press to the
Alpha.
move.
Move to the crest of the hill. Move, move, move.
Okay, you're all good. So you're covering. You're expecting enemy. There may be enemy over there. You've got a massive fire team, big tough guys with lots of weapons over to your east, and you got a squad over to your west. But somebody has to run across here to that control tower. So take it away, Bodie. You do it.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Sprint south-southwest to control tower.
Sprint south-southwest.
South,
Control
southwest,
tower.
control tower.
Move, move, move.
Move, move.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Sure can.
While you're running, it's a good time to reload your weapon and give directions, Bodie. Don't stop when you reload.
Right.
I can't.
Enox covering southeast.
It automatically stopped me. Below.
Buddy
Okay.
2, cover west.
Buddy 2, cover west.
So if you can't reload on the run, like you guys just
Yes.
look at Jimbo here and watch Jimbo. I can reload while I'm running around.
Yeah, the AR can't, I guess.
You should set your kit up so you're able to do that. Because then you can always reload when you're in the sprint or in the bound. Okay.
I think the
Well, that's
AR is the only weapon
everybody
which
got that?
cannot-
Let's try that once more. Bodie,
Yep.
I want you to move your team out to the south, walking. Okay.
Roger. Alpha.
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 File. East.
File.
East.
File. East.
Move.
East. Move.
Move.
You want us on this hill over here, Jimbo?
Yeah, I want you to form up right here facing west.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Line.
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 Move.
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 And just halt them.
Alpha. Hold.
Alpha hold.
So, now, when moving across the open, it's best to have a support team covering. So imagine you're at the corner of this building and you're behind these trees here, and we're looking up to the top of that hill, and we want to move up to the top of that hill, but we're not sure if there's any enemy around. So we're going to move across the open, and we're going to have a support team covering. So we're going to practice assault group bounding. The pro word phrase is group, group, group. What does that mean?
This part of
The entire no. 5 teams bound.
Ruby's
Buddy
buddy team.
Buddy teams. Like 2 buddies move forward and then the other 2 buddies.
We can
Yeah,
hear you.
man.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I have a stupid mute button on the microphone on my headset.
Seems to be working now. Seems to be working now. What group means? It means the buddy teams take turns moving in pairs. And that's actually fire team bounding. And it's hard to get your head around it. Don't worry about it. Group. It means the buddy teams get up together and they move together at the same time. So the lead element when we're training is always going to move first. The support element covering. That means buddy 1 is going to move first. Buddy 2 is going to cover. So after you issue the command, the support element triggers the movement by announcing that his group is covering. So we're now going to practice bounding. And I'm going to be the voice of the instructor again. So Alpha
Alpha.
Alpha.
will bound west to the crest of the hill.
Well,
Go
bound
bound west to
Bound
the west of the hill.
West of the hill.
Group.
Group.
Group. Buddy 1, don't I say by like moving or?
You're
No,
waiting.
no.
We're waiting for. Hang on, Annex. Let me instruct it. We're waiting for Buddy 2 to get in position. They get their weapon up. He's watching. He goes prone, does whatever he can, and then he looks over at his partner. He sees his partner's covering, and he goes, Buddy 2 covering. That's your trigger. That's Buddy 1's trigger.
Buddy 2 covering.
Buddy 1.
Buddy 1 moving.
And next.
Oh man, I was so excited that I knew it and I'll do it.
Buddy 1 covering. Someone is
I
hot
know what I
marking.
meant, what I do wrong.
Okay, we'll try it again, okay?
I don't know who, but someone is hot marking half the time.
Yeah, I'm in Buddy 2.
I don't hear it.
That's what messed me
I
up.
heard it several times.
Buddy 2.
That I heard myself talking.
Okay. Alpha
Alpha.
will bound west
Well, bound.
No,
west.
bound
Bound
west.
west.
20 to the edge of the hill.
20 to
20
the
to
edge of
edge
the hill.
The edge of the hill.
Group.
Group.
Buddy 2 covering.
Buddy 2 is covering.
Buddy
Ready.
1 moving.
Let the team leader do it, Enix.
Yeah, I'm just echoing behind.
Okay, sure.
Are we supposed to echo that or not?
You could echo, but just say covering.
Buddy 2
It's okay.
Buddy 1 covering. 2 moving.
2 moving.
Alpha.
Alpha.
2 covering. Alpha.
We'll bound southwest to the
Bound
large
southwest.
green tree.
Southwest, to the last
South.
The large green tree.
Group, group, group.
Group.
Group. Buddy 2 covering.
2 covering.
Buddy 1 moving.
And what you're watching for is you're watching for him. You're watching for enemy. That's your priority. But out of the corner of your eye, you're watching Buddy 1. And when they get there, don't wait for him to tell you to move.
Yeah.
You just move.
Buddy 1 covering.
Move.
1 moving.
Now you got to use discretion here. When you're coming up on the back of him, you might want to find cover rather than being out in the open, and you might almost want to stack up on Buddy 1. Don't have to be in perfect formation. Remember, cover and concealment trumps formation anytime.
Roger. Okay. Buddy 2 in position. Covering.
Alpha,
Alpha.
Alpha.
sprint to the sprint west,
Sprint west.
Sprint west.
just to the edge of the hill here, 20
Edge.
meters.
Edge of the hill. 20 meters.
edge of hill.
Move, move, move.
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 I was trying to get in a position where you could see what was down here. Alpha,
Alpha.
we'll bounce southwest
Well bound.
Good.
Southwest.
to trees close.
The tree is close.
Trees close.
Group, group, group.
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 Buddy 2 covering.
Covering.
Buddy 1 moving.
Let's go. Move.
1 covering.
2 moving. Why it's keep messing this my head? Don't get it.
Saying Buddy 1?
Yeah, I don't know why I confused those two.
Well, we'll put you in Buddy 1. How's that?
Buddy 2 covering.
I have to deal with this.
Okay. Bodhi, take over. Do some bounding. And move through this area using some bounding. So, well, if you want some direction, bound southwest to the wall.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Bound.
Alpha.
West.
Well bound.
to
West.
edge of wall.
Southwest.
Wall.
Edge of the wall.
Group.
Group.
Group. 2 covering.
2 covering.
Moving.
Moving.
Freak, try to be really quick on the covering. As he's giving out the command, as soon as he says group, 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 look over at Annex and be ready to say.
1 covering.
Let's move.
You can,
Well,
and you
moving.
can say you're moving after you start moving if you want.
Buddy 2 moving.
You'd be surprised how far you can hear, too. Okay, move it out to the west there. Move up to that next. Move up. Move your team along the edge of the wall here, and then bound up to that building to the west.
Roger. Alpha.
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 Form line west.
Line west.
Alpha.
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 Bound west
Bound
Bound
west.
west.
to
Group.
Gray Shack to 40
Gray
meters.
Shack.
Gray Shack 40 meters.
Roger. Shack 20 meters.
Group.
Group.
Group,
Group.
group,
Group.
group.
2. Buddy 2 covering.
2 covering.
1 moving.
moving.
2 more.
1 covering.
Trouble with my keys today.
Yeah, every time you speak up, there's a second of silence before you talk.
Okay, Bodhi. Move him out. Staggered column, northwest.
Alpha.
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 Staggered column northwest.
Staggered
Staggered column,
northwest.
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 Move.
Move.
A little bit more west of northwest. I'm gonna try to get you right out.
Neil, you're kneeling.
That's why he's called Neil. Hey, Bodhi.
Yep.
I think I see some enemies up there to the west. I think you better bring your squad online.
Alpha, form line.
Alpha.
Alpha
I think
line.
you're seeing things.
I'm just pretending. Gotta work with me on this.
Ah.
Okay. Hold. Hold here, Bodhi.
Alpha hold.
Okay, peeling is used to get quickly into nearby cover when the squad is moving either left or right of its line, usually while under fire. Effective suppression of the enemy will assist in maintaining good security throughout the maneuver. It's not meant for long distances. It's a quick safety maneuver. So the leader will order the move as he'll say the name of the group, and he'll say we'll peel and the direction. Then he'll say the destination and the trigger. You don't have to say a destination. For example, Alpha will peel right to the tree line.
Feel right.
We're right.
To the tree line.
Peel right, peel right, peel right. Don't do it.
Peel right,
That's
peel
just the command. That's the command. Now, if I said that, the leftmost man over here, which is Private Niels, would stand up quickly and he would sprint. And he would turn outward so his gun's facing away from the fire team. But he doesn't have to do that. If you want to turn inward, that's fine. And he sprints behind the guy that's immediately to his right. If you can see his name, that's great. Don't slow down to see his name. But as he goes by the fella immediately to his right, he yells out, "Last man, Bodhi." And then when he gets about halfway down the line, which in this case, because it's a fire team, is right beside the second man he's passing, he yells out, "One more." When Bodhi hears "one more," that's his cue to get up and spin to the left and start sprinting down behind the line. When they get over to the right-hand side of the line, they go prone, facing where the enemy was, and say covering. Set. You ready to do it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alpha
Alpha.
Alpha.
will peel right to trees.
Go peel
Peel
right.
right. To trees.
Peel right, peel right, peel right.
Peel right. Peel right. Peel right.
The last one. One more. Cover.
Last man. One more.
Bodhi, last man. One more. Annex. Set. Cover.
Last one. One more. Cover.
Last man. One
And
more.
if you're going to say somebody's name, it's on the last man, okay?
One more. 3.
No, it'd be last man and then the name. One
Last
more, you
man.
don't have to say the name.
One more.
Okay, hold. Alpha, hold.
Alpha.
Alpha
Alpha
hold.
holding.
Bodhi, let's get him moving to the southwest across the open field here. Staggered column.
As I get through this fence.
Okay, remember,
Alpha.
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 Staggered column.
Staggered
Third
column.
column.
Southwest.
Southwest.
when you say the word last man, keep going, keep moving. When you say the term last man, you're identifying who's moving next. So that's where you say the guy's name. So if you're going by NX, you say last man, NX. When you say one more, you're still talking to the guy that you said last man to. When you say one more, you don't have to say his name again because it's NX that's going to get up and turn and start his peel. Get it?
So when you
Ah,
say
get it.
last man NX, then NX is waiting for one more as a trigger for a maneuver.
Exactly. Bingo. Okay. Oh, I think I see some enemy up there to the southwest. Get them online there, Bodie.
Alpha, form line, southwest.
Alpha
Move.
from line.
Alpha, form line, southwest.
And hold.
Alpha, hold.
Alpha, hold.
Alpha.
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 We'll peel right
We'll peer right.
Peel right.
to the trees. Far.
To the trees. Far.
2 trees. Far.
Peel right.
Far.
Peer right, peer right, peer right.
Last man, Bodhi. One more. Covered.
Freak last man. One more.
Inex, last man. One more.
And don't slow yourself
Niels,
down
last man.
to
One
figure out
more.
the name of the person. Just yell last man if you don't know it off by heart.
Bodhi, last man. One more.
Last man. One more.
Inex, last man. One more.
Enix, stop the peel when you get set, okay?
Roger. Yeah. Last man. End peel, end peel, end peel.
Niels,
And peel.
that's
Last
it. That's the
man,
last.
Bodhi.
No, that's the last. That was the last
No.
peel, Niels. Niels, take over the fire team.
Copy that. You want me to give up part or whatever that was called?
Orbit.
Or
Yeah,
bet.
you need to orbat your team, organize
Right.
your team. You only got about 8 seconds to do it, so do it
Niels
quick.
right here.
It's on the ground. Annex, Bodhi, Freak. I'm fighting lead. I'm Niels with we're on short range 1. And yeah. Wait. Bodhi, you and I are fire buddy system 1. Freak and Annex, you're buddy team 2.
Okay, stop that. Don't tell them which buddy team they're in. They should know that. Tell them
Yeah.
who the AR gunner is, tell them who the grenadier is, and that's it.
Oh, okay. Bodhi, you're the AR. And Freak, you're the grenadier.
And what's a good idea to do at your desk? Because I assume you're sitting at a desk and you're not out in the yard somewhere. Take your piece of paper and write down the names of who's who. Just take a moment to do that. It's worth doing it.
Yeah.
Then you got it straight in your head, and you know who your AR gunner is. You know who your grenadier is. You ready to go?
We'll do next time. Yep.
Do it this time. You take the time if you want. It's helpful.
I
If you
don't
don't
know.
want it, you don't have to.
I don't have any paper nearby.
Don't worry. Take your team, and move them out in a line formation to the west.
Alpha,
Alpha.
line formation west.
Line west.
West.
Move.
Move. Freak, are you on my right? Yes, you are. Awesome. No, stay there, stay there. It's correct.
Oh, no, it's you the team leader. Okay. Right.
Yeah. I'm just wondering who's on my left. That's why I'm asking.
We didn't change.
Niels, I want you to change the fire team direction to 260.
Alright. Freak Unix, buddy. Freak Unix, buddy.
Alpha,
Freak Unix, buddy.
Alpha.
Alpha.
line formation west southwest.
Line west southwest.
Move.
Move.
And they sure love these subordinal bearings, don't they?
Well, you told us not to use compass bearings, but
I think it's a beautiful thing.
No. Freak Unix.
Wait a minute. I think there's some enemy up there by that building. Hold your team and go prone.
Alpha hold.
Alpha hold.
Prone. This seriously seeing things.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about the fire team rush. So this is true bounding. This is what I was taught bounding was a long time ago. It's not sprinting between cover. In certain situations, it might be possible to move across open areas with no cover, but you're going to do it by limiting your time spent upright. We refer to this as the fire team rush. Now, we use successive bounding. It'll always be conducted if the type of bounding is not specified. What is successive bounding?
I'm catching up with the other team, essentially.
You don't bound past the other team. One team will advance a short distance, the other team covers. Then the covering team will then bound forward until they're on line with the first team. That's successive bounding. So rushing must not be confused with sprinting between cover. The bounding is done in very short bursts, 2 or 3 seconds up, and then we go prone. Players should stay up for the length of time it takes to say, I'm up, she sees me, and I'm down. This is just under the time it takes for the average marksman to acquire you as a target. Now, do you guys want me to explain it in detail, or do you guys know what you're doing?
Yeah, that's
Don't
pretty
do
clear
the
for me.
lecture, please.
Okay, I'm going to demonstrate once. You start from the prone position. If you want to go for brownie points, you look right and you look left. Don't worry about that the first few times you try it. You say your name and you're moving. Jimbo, moving. Then you sprint forward. While you're sprinting, you say, and you have to say it, everybody has to say it, it's a game. You say, I'm up, she sees me, and I'm down. So, Jimbo, moving. I'm up, she sees me, and I'm down. And then you go down, and you say your name, and you say you're covering. AR gunner, covering. Or if I was the team leader, I just say covering. If I'm buddy 2 leader, I say buddy 2 covering. Or you can just say covering. Sometimes there's a lot of chatter going on. You can just say covering. When we start firing, when we start doing this live fire, your weapon firing also says you're covering. Any questions?
No.
Okay, remember that group means buddy teams move together. So I'm going to be the voice of your fire team leader. So I'm Neil's voice right now. So Niels, you're just going to pretend that the sound that I'm making is coming out of you.
Damn
Okay.
sexy voice.
You betcha. Alpha.
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 Go rush west.
Rush.
Rush
West.
west.
Oh, rush west.
100 to building.
100.
100 to building.
Weapons red. Group.
Weapons red. Group.
Buddy 1 moving.
2 covering.
I should hear you saying I'm up. She sees me, I'm down.
Yeah.
2 moving.
2
AR
moving.
gunner. Wait. Covering.
She sees me.
Set.
Down.
2 cover.
2 covering.
Moving. I'm up.
Oh,
She sees me. I'm down.
2 move.
Buddy 2 moving.
Long bound to catch up.
I'm down.
It's me. Down.
2 covering.
I'm up. She sees
I
me.
don't-
I'm down.
I don't know
What?
when you're moving, by the way.
What was the command for moving?
Buddy 2 moving.
I'm down.
Niels, just say moving when you get up. Don't say anything else. Just say moving.
Moving. I'm up. She sees me. I'm down.
Sees me.
And then just say cover when you go down. Say covering.
2 move.
2 move.
I'm up. She sees me. I'm down.
I'm down.
2 covering.
Spread out to the left, Bodie.
Moving. I'm up.
Well,
She sees me. I'm down.
down.
Covering.
2 move.
Bodie, next bound. Spread out to
2
the
moving.
left.
Rush.
I'm down. 2 covering.
Moving.
2
I'm
covering.
Moving.
She sees
Up.
me.
Sees
I'm
me.
down.
Down.
Move. 2 moving.
2 moving.
Up. Deep down. 2 covering.
2 covering.
Moving. I'm up.
Up.
She sees me.
Sees me.
I'm down.
Down.
2 moving.
2 moving.
She sees me. I'm down. 2 covering.
Moving.
2 is covering.
I'm up.
Up.
She sees
Sees me.
I'm down.
Down.
Covering.
2 moving.
2 moving.
She sees me. I'm down.
Last bound, Niels. And tell him that before you move. Tell him that before you move.
Move. I'm
Last
she's
bound.
up. Blah, 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 down.
And Niels, next time, rather than just saying last bound, say alpha, last bound, and then jump up, say moving.
Okay.
Okay, so now you're where you're supposed to be. Now I want you to just move in a walk to the northwest. Move
Alpha.
around this building.
Alpha.
Northwest. Line
Northwest. Line.
Move.
You're walking fast.
Okay, Niels, do you want me to try that again? I'll give the command, or do you want to try to give the command for the fire team rush?
No, you can do it a bit, and I'll do it more.
Do it one more. So I'll be the voice of Niels.
Yeah.
A little bit longer. Alpha.
Alpha.
Form line. Northwest. Move.
Phone
Line,
line.
northwest.
Move.
Alpha halt.
Alpha.
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 We'll rush northwest
Northwest.
to Timber Edge.
Timber Edge.
Group.
Group.
2 covering.
2 covering.
1 moving.
1 moving.
I'm up. She sees me.
Up. Sees down.
Covering.
2 moving.
2 moving.
She
He sees me.
Down.
I'm down.
2 covering.
Moving.
1 moving.
I'm up. She sees me. I'm down.
Sees me.
Covering.
2 moving.
2 moving.
I'm up.
He sees me. I'm down.
2 covering.
2 covering.
Moving.
Moving.
I'm up.
Up.
She sees me. I'm
Okay.
down. Covering.
That's me. 2 moving.
2 moving.
I'm up.
Sees me. I'm down.
Last bound.
Alpha. Last bound.
2 covering.
Moving. I'm up. She sees me. I'm down.
2 moving. Last bound.
2 moving. Last bound.
I'm down.
I'm down.
2 covering.
2 covering.
Okay. Alpha on Jimbo.
Alpha on Jim.
Alpha on Jimbo.
So it's against my better judgment, I'm going to give you a little bit of tactics. Right here, we've got a bit of terrain that we can use if we were overwatching that building there. So Alpha, form line, southeast, move.
Alpha form line. Southeast. Move.
Don't move very far. Just stay here. Stay here with me. You don't have to move ahead. So you'll notice that if you position yourself, you're pretty visible from down below,
We have a left now.
right?
Yeah.
There's a point on the crest of this road where they really can't see you very much from down below. You're hidden from down below. If you go prone, you can see that. So if everybody goes prone so you can't see the buildings, and then we crawl up a little bit, there's a position here where we can see the buildings down below. Right about there, I got eyes. I can't see all the building, but I can see a lot of it. And actually, this little shelf on the road forms a lot of cover for me. Does everybody understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, now just watch me. If I'm
You cut off there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying I was going to.
Oops.
And to distribute.
If I'm down below here, you guys can see me very well. It's really hard to see you guys, right? And if I'm running up towards you,
See how you can see me most all the way when I'm running up?
Mm-hmm.
But if I go prone, you can't see me now.
True.
So that's just an example of that's a tough place to have to assault an enemy. If we had a team down below that was firing at these guys at the top, and we had another team that had to run up this hill, if you used the fire team rush, it'd be really hard for them to kill you on the way up the hill. They just don't have the terrain for it. And then you could frag them when you got close enough to their position.
True. The best part. Should get it right.
Is it a good practice to wait for my body team member or my body to say he's covering before I say 2 covering? Because it's a short time when you lay on the ground, and if I have to wait and look over if he's covering, I
Yeah.
almost have no time looking downrange with my optics.
It's a tough one, and you can do it by listening. You can listen for his gun firing, because often he's going to be firing when he's covering.
Yeah.
You should be looking around anyway, left and right, all the time, always being aware of where you are. You should know where your buddy is. If your buddy's a good buddy, he's going to do that for you. He's going to be saying rifleman covering. He's going to be going AR covering. So then you know, as the team leader or the buddy team leader, you know you can say it because you're getting those clues off him all the time.
So I think if you bound too quick or too hasty, it reduces the time where it can lay down effective fire. So I noticed that.
It does, but let's move on to the next part, and you'll see why we get a little bit hasty sometimes. So bounding Overwatch. Bounding Overwatch is a combination of traveling Overwatch and traveling between cover. It's often the safest way to move when an enemy contact is suspected. Continuous movement with one team moving while the other's covering is referred to as bounding Overwatch. So it's like traveling Overwatch. You've got that long, wide distance, but one team's actually covering while the other team's moving. Whereas with traveling Overwatch, both teams are moving at the same time. So usually the teams are going to sprint between covered positions, especially if it's in the open. But sometimes the lead team will be walking, because when someone's walking, they're less visible to the enemy that's watching for them. Fast movement is far more visible from a distance than nice slow movement. If you suspect that the enemy's up there in the town, if you're moving directly towards him, it's really hard to detect that movement. And if you're moving towards him walking, it'll be hard for him to pick that out. So sometimes you're walking, but often you're sprinting. The trailing team, when they move to catch up, will almost always sprint, unless you're really trying to camouflage your movement. So we're going to use the same methods as we used with bounding between cover, but we're going to be moving continuously. So we'll give the order, bounding Overwatch, and then we'll just keep doing these bounds one after another, with the trailing team catching up with the lead team. The trailing team says they're covering. The lead team says they're moving. When the trailing team sees the lead team stop, they just start their next movement. And that's why I'm training you just to initiate the movement without waiting to hear from the lead team that they're covering. If the lead team sees something that they don't want you to move, that's when you've got permission to use the 3-4-3 and say, buddy 2, hold. And everybody will just freeze in position. Okay?
Okay.
Makes sense? So we're going to do some traveling Overwatch, and we're going to move to the west. And the objective here is we're trying to get eyes on the town down there to the southwest, or the little village to the southwest. So we're going to move up along the hillside through the trees. So I'm going to be the voice of your fire team leader. You guys can just move. So you can just stay in the formation you're in pretty much, and you're covering to the southwest, but you're also keeping your eyes out all around you. So Alpha.
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 Bounding Overwatch.
Bounding
Bounding
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
West.
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 Group.
Group.
Moving.
2 moving.
2 covering.
2 covering.
You guys can sprint if you want, or jog. And what you're watching for is you're watching for the enemy. But just out of the corner of your eye, you're watching Buddy 1.
Shippo, how far do we go?
That's a good question. You just move to catch up. So you got to say Buddy 2 moving.
Buddy 2 moving. So as long as the first team is walking.
That was a really good question. How far do you move? Now, what you want to think about is before you leave, look at where you're going to be moving to. You won't always be able to tell. Right here, all you're going to, now that you've given the command of bounding Overwatch, all you're saying now is covering and moving. So as Buddy 1 gets up, they go moving.
So isn't it a good rule to just travel so far the other
Don't
can
go-
see you?
Don't go out of sight of that team covering you.
So
It's going to be really frosty here, and I'm just moving ahead in a walk, and I wait maybe till I get to here. Covering.
These are bounds from cover to cover, basically, then.
That's right. You're bounding from cover to
Within
cover.
eyesight of each other.
Yeah, always within eyesight. And the further you can see, the further you can bound. The more open it is, the longer your bounds might be. Cover trumps formation when you're doing this. So they're in Buddy 2's information. So go ahead, Buddy 1.
2 covered.
moving.
Yeah, 2 is covering.
Can't hear you.
Moving.
2's covering.
Right in here.
You can also look and see, right? do this at a jog, guys, just to see how fast we can do it. So you're gonna. So Alpha's jogging pace.
Moving.
Two covering.
Alpha is jogging pace.
Okay, you guys want to keep your eyes open all around you, but your primary
Okay.
direction of cover is to the south. So when you set up, try to set up so they don't have to run in front of you.
One covering.
Two moving.
Two moving.
Try to move behind two if you can.
Go. Moving.
Two covering.
Covering.
Two moving.
Okay, Niels,
Yes.
I want you to sprint across this field to the south. Use the proper commands. Sprint to that building that you can see directly south.
Alpha.
Just a little bit right of south, actually.
Alpha.
Move south to building.
Move south. Building.
Move.
Hold it, everybody
No.
hold.
Alpha hold.
The command would be sprint, not move.
Oh.
Move would denote you're gonna walk.
I thought if we use move, we...
Oh, you want to? I want you to say sprint. It's gonna make it much easier. So say sprint, and then tell them what the details of it.
Alpha.
And then the trigger would be move.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Sprint to building south.
Sprint. Building. South.
Move.
Move. Hey, Frick. It would be really good
Okay,
for
Alpha
you
hold.
to
Alpha
set up-
hold.
Alpha
Alpha hold.
hold.
Okay, you've just come under fire from the enemy in front of you. They're in various locations in front of you. They can't really get a good beat on you because they're trying to maintain their defilade, but they're firing at you. And this isn't the best place to do it. But I want you to move back to the tree line. So what we're going to do is we're going to break contact. It's not a good idea to try to be in that town right now, and it's not a good idea to try to move up to the west either. So we know it's fairly safe back the way we came, so we're going to try to get back. We're going to break contact. So there's two ways we can break contact. We can break contact by sprinting to cover, or we can break contact by bounding to cover. Right? This is where it gets complicated. We could bound by short bounds, which would be called what?
Buddy rush. No, just rush.
Buddy rush. It'd be a rush rear. With short bounds, we're rushing to the rear. Now, what if we're bounding by a long bound? How would we describe that? So we want one team to cover. Well, sprint would be the whole team would pick up and go.
Yeah.
If we just want a buddy team to move together, and then the other buddy team covers, how would we describe that?
Bounding.
It's a group, right? And we call it a bound. I'm going to give an order, and we'll see if you guys can just do it. Alpha.
Alpha.
We'll break contact.
Break contact.
Bound to trees north.
Bound to trees north.
Group.
Group. Two is covering.
One is moving.
Bang. Bang. Bang.
No. This wasn't a rush. This wasn't a rush rear. This was a bound. That's okay. That's what we're here for. Turn around and run.
Bang.
No.
Bang. Two moving. Two covering.
Okay.
I get this.
Now, I'm going to give you another command, and it'll be a rush to the rear. So we're going to work our way up the hill away from these guys because we don't like the position we're in, but we're going to do it in short bounds. Alpha.
Alpha.
We'll rush rear.
Rush. Rear.
North.
North.
Group.
Two covering.
One moving. I'm up. She sees me, and I'm down.
Two moving.
Covering.
Excuse me.
I'm down.
That
Oh,
is
I'm
a
glad
shitty
you guys
position.
did that.
What do you mean?
You just got shot by me.
Hold on, hold on. Look at your formation now. Where's the grenadier?
Yeah, we were switched because of trees.
No, that doesn't matter. Hold your position. Stay where you were. Where's the grenadier? Where's the rifleman? You're kind of switched position. But what's happened is we've crossed. And the reason we crossed, and it happens all the time, and it's because of Arma. Can everybody see Jimbo?
Yeah.
So when Jimbo's here, when I hear we're gonna rush rear north, and I take a second and I think, okay, which way is north? So I bring up my compass and I say, okay, I'm facing south. North is directly behind me. I get up first of all, and then I spin, and while I'm spinning, I actually want to be facing north. So if I have to, bring up your compass again because it's Arma, and then you guys can't see me anymore, so I'll go down in front of you. But if this was the end of my sprint, now before I go prone, I turn around, I face south again, so I'm orientated properly, I go prone. And it's really clunky, and it's not much fun in Arma, and we don't do it very often. But that's the rush rear. And what happens is if you don't take note of which direction you're facing, you end up crossing paths. People end up getting all screwed up, and they all get mixed up. That's why I'm really glad you did it the way you did it, because you got kind of mixed up. Okay, that's breaking contact. So all-round defense. Alpha.
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 Actually, you can take it over, Freak. Have you done it yet? Nope. Okay, I want you to be the team leader.
So what are the last two maneuvers? One is breaking contact and the other one is retreating rear?
Rush.
Rush rear.
You can bound, you can rush, or you can sprint. Bound, rush, or sprint. Three of them. Bounding means you're moving with somebody covering you. Sprinting means you're all moving together. And the rush means you only go 3 seconds. Somebody covering you.
Could you just repeat that again?
There's a rush, which means you're only moving for 3 seconds. There's a bound, which means you're sprinting somewhere or you're moving somewhere, but somebody's covering you. And there's the sprint, and that means you're just moving between cover.
Copy.
And traveling always indicates walking pace.
Yeah, traveling's you're moving, so you're just traveling. And when we separate from traveling to traveling Overwatch, starting to suspect maybe the enemy's around, so we're increasing our spacing. So Freak, move Alpha out. Move Alpha out to the west.
Enix, Bode, Niels. I'm Freak, I'm your fire team leader. We are 1 Alpha. Our short-range handle is 1. My grenadier is Niels, and my AR is Bode. We are moving out to where you said, sorry?
Move west.
Okay, Alpha.
Alpha.
Form line facing south. Correct. Alpha.
Alpha.
File formation facing west. Move.
File west. Move.
Okay, next time you say that, don't say the word formation. Just say file, west, move.
Right. We're moving out. Walking. Move.
Alpha moving.
Change it to a wedge, Freak.
Wait. Alpha.
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 Wedge.
Right.
Move.
Wedge.
Heavy right.
Heavy right.
Heavy right. Heavy right.
Oh, that's cool. Guy's getting tactical. He's still expecting the enemy over on our left, so he wants the 66% of his firepower over there.
Yeah, that's why I call it the whole heavy left beneath always the AR.
Okay. So I'm going to talk to you while we're walking here. Okay? All-round defense. So all-round defense is conducted when the fire team must hold a location. So for any extended period of time. The team should watch all directions of threat and be able to displace easily between each other. For example, the 2IC might need to move around checking everybody's ammo. All-round defense is dynamic, and it changes depending on the number of men available. If you have an entire squad, the fire team might be able to just cover 180 degrees. But if the fire team's all alone, they might be required to cover 360 degrees, all-round defense. Alpha hold.
Alpha hold.
Grenadier, cover east. No, pardon, wrong. Rifleman, cover east.
Rifleman covering east.
And move southeast.
Moving southeast.
So you guys turn around and look at Enix. So if we just take Enix, we position him behind us because we're in a wedge. We've pretty much got everything covered right now. It's that easy.
Roger.
Really simple. But, and this is perfect because Freak was thinking, and we suspect the enemy's down here in this town, and he's got his AR gunner covering the area of greatest threat. So that's pretty simple. How long would you be here before you'd actually take a knee?
6.
Pretty much right away. Take a knee, get a little bit lower profile, try to find cover whenever you're at a halt. If you wait a couple seconds. If you're here for longer than about 10 seconds, then go prone. Okay? Get yourself comfortable. I like to make sure that you keep the buddy teams together. So as a team leader, you kind of can snuggle in beside the AR gunner relatively close to him so you guys can talk. And the grenadier and the rifleman should be able to pick a position where they can both cover their sectors and they can chat with each other. Because you're buddies after all, right?
Yeah, Freak. Can you hear me?
So that's 360 degree coverage. There's more to it than that, but that's it in its basic. So, Freak, move Alpha out to the northwest.
Alpha, line,
Alpha.
facing northwest.
Alpha.
Line north.
Line north.
Lie north. Did you said
Northwest. Move.
Northwest.
Move.
I said northwest.
Freak, I can hardly hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will talk loudly.
But it won't matter. Just turn your acre volume up if you can.
I
Shout.
have bind the key. No, I'll do it later.
Haven't bound that yet?
Freak, you are bad.
Now I have a new any. And again, it's away.
Well, no, I'm just wondering, have you bound your acre key for the volume yet? Have you done that?
No, not in that.
Okay,
volume.
then what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk close to you and I will echo what you say so everybody can hear you, okay?
So if I speak loudly, everybody should hear me, right?
Doesn't
now-
matter. You
now I
can
can
speak as loud as you want. It won't make much difference in Arma.
Okay.
You can whisper into your mic or shout into your mic. We'll still hear you at the same volume.
All right. Bad mic, so.
I'll echo for you.
All right. Alpha,
Alpha.
Alpha.
form lines, facing
Form line.
northwest.
Four
Northwest.
line,
Northwest.
northwest.
Move.
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 Alpha, we're moving. Walking. Move.
Move.
Alpha, we're moving. Walk and move.
Walk and move.
Okay, you hear something up ahead, Freak.
Oh no.
So I want you to move in traveling overwatch.
Roger. We're moving, traveling Overwatch to the northwest.
Alpha.
Say Alpha first before you do that. You gotta say Alpha. Alpha.
Northwest.
Traveling overwatch. Northwest.
Move.
If you say group,
Cover.
group, then they know.
2 is covering.
Who's covering? Don't go out of sight of your team.
We're losing sight of you.
And what you say is you say buddy one covering.
Buddy one covering.
Buddy two moving.
32 moving.
Now he'll move up and he'll just find a convenient place close to you. He can even stack up right in amongst you if he wants to. That's okay.
Covering.
2 covering.
Hang on. Freak, give him the command to bound across this little open area here. Okay? Want me to do the...
Alpha.
Want me to do it for you?
Alpha.
I'll do this one for you, okay? Alpha.
Alpha.
We'll bound northwest.
You're about northwest.
Across field to trees.
Cross field.
Group.
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 Body 2 cover.
2 covering.
One moving.
One covering.
One covering.
2 moving.
When you're in bounding Overwatch, you don't need to say that because you're already in bounding Overwatch mode. And you should be able to just do it. Actually follow your lead.
Covering.
2 covering.
But what about if I'm not sure because of the trees? They lose in sight very quick.
Well, you could see the other side of the trees, so they can see it too.
Alright.
They could see, like, look back over there. You know if you're going to bound over there, you know you can see it. And they'll be able to see when you get there.
Alright.
Okay. And you can use your radio to say you're covering if you want. So just continue your traveling Overwatch to the west.
Okay. One moving.
1.
2 covering.
One covering.
Moving.
2 moving.
So look ahead and see where you want to go to. So I can see a big tree up there. I'm going to just move to that tree, and then I'm just going to do it very deliberately. And what I'm thinking about... Oh, don't move until they get covering.
Cover.
2 covering.
One moving.
So basically, body team 2 is the only body team talking.
Not hearing Freak?
One covering.
Covering.
One covering.
One covering.
Moving.
2 moving.
It's just that we have to get Freak's volume set up.
Yeah, no problem. But basically, it's only fighting of body team 2 talking. Because body team 1 just moves and stops when they want and when they hear us say cover.
For the purposes of the training, Buddy 1's going to say it as well.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Freak.
And I think in trees, inside trees, it's not always right that the other sees the same than me, because some people have.
Oh,
different
and if
settings
they miss it, if they miss you, you say it on the radio, right?
All right.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, one moving.
One moving.
One moving.
2 covering.
Okay, that's far enough. You're going out of sight. Find a
Covering.
tree.
This one, yeah. One covering.
Yeah. One covering.
Moving.
2 moving.
Okay,
Covering.
Freak, change direction. Move him down to the southwest. And then find your way across that field down there somehow.
Alpha.
Alpha. Bounding southwest.
Bounding southwest. Move.
Move. Now, hang on. You should have said we'll
Covering.
sprint southwest if you're going to do move, okay? But we got you.
Covering.
No, there's no covering because it was a move. You're all moving together.
We're sprinting.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Form line. Hold.
Form line, hold.
From line hold.
Okay, try bounding now. Bound up to the next cover there, to your south. Those 2 green trees that are there by the road.
Roger. Alpha.
Alpha.
We're bounding south.
Bounding south. To the 2 green trees.
2 green trees.
Body. 2 green trees.
Group,
Group.
Covering.
2 covering.
2 covering. 1 moving.
Alex, why are you left of me?
Is that wrong?
Yeah, aren't you the rifleman?
Ah, you're a grenadier.
One cover.
Moving.
Well, wait until you're actually covering
2
before you
moving.
say that. Wait until you got your weapon up and you feel comfortable. Okay. NX, do you want to take the fire team?
Yeah, I can take it.
Okay. Or about your team. You got 15 seconds, so do it the simplest way you can.
Roger. Niels, Freak, and Bodhi. I am fire team leader Enex. We are Alpha in squad 1-1. Short range channel 1. Kits. Okay, Niels is Grenadier. Freak is fire. You'll switch kit with me. And Bodhi's AR. Do you have AR?
Yep.
Good.
You ready?
Almost there. We're ready.
Okay, move them southeast.
Alpha.
Alpha.
Wedge, southeast.
Wedge
Wedge
southeast.
southeast.
Move.
Contact front, close.
Alpha, I want you to
Stay prone. Ceasefire. Alpha, ceasefire. Okay, you're breaking contact to the rear. But you, as a fire team leader, you can decide how you want to do that. If you want to bound to the cover, what does that mean? That means that one fire team is going to cover while the other fire team moves. If you want to sprint to the cover, what does that mean? That means the whole fire team's going to pick up and sprint to the cover. If you want to rush to the cover that's to the rear, what does that mean? That means one fire team is going to cover while the other fire team, not one buddy team is going to cover while the other buddy team does a very short 3-second bound. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Tell me just loud and clear what is the command. Break.
Rush. It's sprint, rush rear, or bound. You decide what you want to do. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to bound, okay? You guys, no, you guys can just bound to the cover to the rear. So it would be Alpha
Alpha.
will bound rear
We'll bound to rear.
northwest.
Northwest.
Then you say group because it's a bound, right? Make sense? That's right. Okay, ready to go? Here.
Yeah.
Enemy's hot. So Alpha. Contact northwest to the east.
Northwest.
1 covering. 1 covering.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it again. Alpha.
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 I want you to. Actually, let's not bound. We're gonna rush. Okay, let's rush them. Let's buddy team rush front. Okay.
Front.
Okay. Buddy.
Yeah. So the command from the squad leader would be Alpha. I want you to rush the position. So what's the command, Annex?
It's buddy team rush. Southeast. What is then? Group.
Want me to do it? Want me to do it once?
Yeah, sure.
Alpha.
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 Target. Purple smoke.
Target.
Target purple smoke.
Slow fire. 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 Fire.
Slow fire. Fire.
Alpha.
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 We'll rush southeast.
Will rush south.
Southeast.
Group. Group. Group.
Good. Covering.
Covering.
I'm up. She sees me. I'm down. Member.
Moving.
One covering.
I'm
Move
up.
it.
She sees me.
Okay.
And I'm down.
3, reload the weapon.
Covering.
She sees me.
1, moving. I'm down.
Moving. I'm up. She sees me. And I'm down.
Make sure you don't bunch up. Buddy 2, spread out right, next bound.
Buddy 2, spread right.
1 covering.
Buddy moving.
Moving. I'm up. She sees me.
1
And I'm
moving.
down. Covering.
I'm down.
Moving.
1
I'm up.
That was the last bound,
She
Dennis.
sees me.
Last
I'm
bound,
down.
this one. Okay, buddy. Take one more bound, Annex.
Alpha.
Wall bomb, so
No, just say moving.
what do you mean?
You just say moving. Say out.
One more.
Just say moving.
1 moving. I'm up.
Last bound.
She sees me. I'm down.
Moving. Last bound.
Last bound.
I'm up. She sees me. I'm down.
Buddy 2, prep frags.
Buddy 2, draw frags.
And no frags.
1 suppressing
No
fire.
frags. Negative.
Okay. Frag the position. Frag out.
No frags. Rifleman, no frags.
No frags.
Rifleman reloading.
Hey, Alpha, take the position. Up on your feet, walk in pace.
Alpha.
Take the
walking
position.
pace.
Yeah, Alpha line southeast. Move.
Line southeast, move, guns up.
Fire! Fire as you're moving. Slow fire, slow fire, slow fire. Just fire where you think there might be enemy. You're converging. Buddy 2, he's right. I got 1 down. 1 enemy down.
Another one down.
Yeah, enemy down. Alpha hold.
Alpha
Hold.
hold.
Reloading.
Alpha, watch and shoot.
Alpha 1 hit you.
Okay, move them out to the east.
Reloading.
Alpha,
Okay.
watch and shoot.
Alpha 1 hit you.
Somebody must see enemy if they're still shooting. Do you see enemy?
What the hell does Western shoot me?
Watch and shoot means you stop firing unless you actually see enemy
Copy.
that is
Alpha.
alive.
Alpha, Western shoot.
Alpha.
Alpha.
East stagger column.
East, second column.
Staggered.
Move. Yeah, the hardest part is breaking contact. All the others seems really logical to me.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Annex, I want you to get him into a tight formation facing to the west. Okay?
Okay.
You get them all bunched up together on you. Move over to your left a little bit.
Okay, Alpha.
Alpha. Alpha, west,
Annex,
side,
you see where I'm
right.
firing here?
Where are you firing? Okay, Alpha. Northwest.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get Annex to move where I'm firing. Annex.
I thought you
Ah.
said northwest.
Well, that's okay. I want you to move where I'm firing.
Then he's gonna die.
Well, I'll stop firing. I want to know that he sees where I'm firing at.
Line east.
Like this.
No, you've moved past it now. You got to right there. On you, Annex.
Where?
Right there. I want everybody right where I'm pointing here.
There's gold down there.
Fury, can you come off God mode? But everybody needs to face to the west.
This is a nice grass.
Bunch up there, Fury. Face to the west.
Alpha west.
West. What are you gonna do to us?
Nothing. I'm going to give you the final little talk here.
There's a claymore down there.
Are we gonna die?
Yeah, Annex, can you get them to bunch up? They're not together. They're all spread out.
Yeah.
Are we taking group photo? We need
Yeah,
to
we're
salute.
taking the group photo.
Guys, you need to salute. Stop being an idiot. Did
You gotta
place
bunch
a
up.
mine? Permission to preemptively shoot a structure.
No, you can't. Okay, so today you learn. Oh, sorry about that. So this concludes part two of Fireteam Practical Training for today. Thanks for attending. Today you learned how to bound, you learned how to peel, break contact, bounding overwatch, buddy aid. Oh, you didn't learn buddy aid. You learned all-round defense. You can now be more effective as a single part of a fighting team. You have learned more terms that can be used in the common language of UO. Now these are just the building blocks of solid cooperative gameplay. It's not the only way to game. It's just the way we're training, okay? There's one more session that follows this. You're welcome to attend it. Can you just stand up and look at the camera so I can get a picture here? Somebody's wiggling all over in the back on the right. So now you're encouraged to move up on the primary and you continue to practice these skills in game. Please ask politely if you're permitted to game as part of a team. Explain that you've completed some practical training and you wish to game together. Okay? So just before you go, I gotta figure out who's who. Who's the AR gunner?
Say again.
Bodie?
I'm getting a lecture. Sorry.
Bodie. And who's in the front on
On the front.
Annex.
next to-
Annex.
right- that's Annex?
Yes.
Okay, and who's in the back with the goggles on?
Niels.
Niels. Okay. Thanks a lot. So that's it from me. And I almost made it in time. I can do buddy aid really quick. Everybody want to learn how to do buddy aid?
Sure.
Dude,
Okay. If you get shot, you should yell your shot. For example, Alpha AR, I've been hit. Or Bodie, I've been hit. When the man goes down, you yell man down and you yell the roll. For example, you yell man down, Alpha Grenadier down. Your squad leader or your fire team leader will give you directions. Usually you'll be told to fight on. Sometimes you may be told to pick up his weapon. Always watch your buddy. Be aware if he goes down. Make sure your leader knows. Wait for direction. And here's the big point, you guys. I hope you're all listening to this. When attacking or in a firefight, never start administering first aid on someone without permission from your leader.
Does that include bandages?
Yeah, just get permission, because otherwise you're stopping the firefight, and we may need you critically to do what you're doing to be able to win the day.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you keep calling out to your fire team leader and you don't hear any direction, then we'll teach you more about doing self-aid and buddy aid later on. Your fire team leader might be dead, or maybe he can't hear you.
More likely.
Okay, so I encourage you guys, go jump on the primary, and yeah, have fun. Oh,
Oh.
just taking a screenshot. There we go.